Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. Today we're going to talk about Litecoin price because we're nearing the halving. The halving is happening on August 6th, which is in 53 days. Now, this is going to be a little bit of prediction, so obviously it's not 100% or even 50% or whatever. This is just kind of like what I believe and what the price I think would be before the August halving, and what kind of like things to actually look for Litecoin. Now, before we actually get into this, I would like to say that for this exercise, we're going to hold Bitcoin constant. I don't know if Bitcoin can move up or down, and according to the Bitcoin's move up or down, obviously Litecoin can be at different prices. If Bitcoin drops, Litecoin won't be as much as we think. If Bitcoin goes way up, Litecoin will be much higher than what we think. But we're going to hold Bitcoin constant for this because that's really the only way we can sort of do this kind of exercise. Now, my original goal for Litecoin was $150 by the halving, assuming that Bitcoin holds around $8,000. I think that is too low now, looking at how fast Litecoin has increased because of the halving. It hit $137 today. Actually, I think at the highest it hit $144 today. And I think since the halving is actually on August 6th, I think it still has several weeks, more than a month to grow. I would actually be watching out when we get to like maybe late July, around the 15th, 20th of July. From what I've seen from other big events, I see that other well-known events, I see that the coin generally tends to surge up until maybe about a couple of weeks before the event, and then it tends to kind of even out, and maybe sometimes it even dips or plummets right before or right after the event. So my new goal for Litecoin is $200 by then, and if it reaches $200 maybe in early July or maybe around July 10th or something, I would really look to sell out a lot of my position. You might want to hang on and hope for the best as we get closer to the halving, but I'm going to be safe and take my profits. Oh, if I had Litecoin, I would be safe and take my profits at that point, because even if I buy in right now at $200, that is a 30% profit, and that is a pretty good investment profit for like a 1 month window in investing. So obviously Charlie Lee is really, really bullish about Litecoin, but he's always really bullish about Litecoin in public. In private, there is that part where he sold all his Litecoin at $300. So I won't say anything about that this time, but just keep that in mind when you listen to Charlie Lee actually talk. So what I do believe is Litecoin will kind of behave like other coins before giant events, like before a mainnet launch or before some kind of like big event that would actually squeeze the supply on Litecoin. Now, there is this article that says you should be aware of a potential 73% pre-halving plummet. I personally don't think that will happen. I think it might go down, starting in late July as people get ready for this selling the news thing. I don't think it'll plummet by 73%. I think, maybe it'll drop from, if it gets to like 200, it might drop back to like 150 or something. But I actually don't think it'll plummet 73%. That's too much of a plummeting, especially because I actually do think Bitcoin is going to slowly go up for the rest of the year. We might be stuck here for a couple of weeks, and we might even retrace. But as the year goes on, I do believe that BTC will actually go up. So I don't believe in a 73% plummet pre-halving for Litecoin. I do believe there's a lot of hype over this potential halving, and I do think the price of Litecoin will continue to go up at least for another month or so into early mid-July, and I do think there's a good chance the price could actually breach $200. Like I said, my original projection was 150. I believe I'm a little off now because Litecoin has advanced much faster than I actually thought, and I think 200 or at least 175 should be the new goal for Litecoin to break before you start selling out. If you bought Litecoin in at $22, it's fine to sell out some right now for only 600% profit or something like that. But even if I bought it at 22, I might sell half right now and actually leave the other half in there to see what happens. But if it gets to $200 before halving, I would sell most of it out, take the profits and invest in something else. I might keep like 25% in Litecoin just to see where it goes after the halving, because it could go up after the halving as well. We don't know, but according to a lot of the movements before big events, it's always buy the rumors, sell the news. So I would be looking to sell in mid-July or something for Litecoin, based on what profits I actually do have. So because of the speed of the Litecoin run-up recently, I do believe it might even pick up pace as we get into July, but it might stall in mid-July and then start falling a little bit as we get towards the August halving. So that's my view on it. My new goal for Litecoin is $200 instead of $150. I know some people have said $300, and I think that's definitely possible, but based on what I've seen so far, unless the rate really accelerates, if you hold Bitcoin constant, I don't really see Litecoin accelerating towards 300 towards August 6th. I'm more in the 200 range. And I think 300 is too big of a gap to jump right now. It would have to more than double to get to 300. And I think the chance of it retracing on a pre-halving retrace a couple of days before is significant enough to where I'm not going to hold for 300, but I would be okay with 200. So 200 is my new goal. 300 is possible, but for me, the risk of holding for 300 is not as good as just selling at 200 and getting my profits. Even if I bought in right now, or if I bought in way earlier, or if I bought in way earlier at if I bought in way earlier at $22. So basically, have a plan for cash out before the halving. I suggest maybe tiering it at $150, and then $200, and maybe $150, $175, $200, $225, or something like that. But have a plan. Don't plan to just hold until it goes to the moon, because we all know where that can actually lead you. After seeing the plummet of 2017 to 2018, so please have a good plan to actually cash out when that actually happens. Cash out into Bitcoin. If you really think it's a good idea, you should try to cash out into Bitcoin before. But I do believe Litecoin will go up significantly before the halving event. When and where it will go up, that's for anyone to decide. But I do believe my personal target is $200. But $300 is definitely possible. So that is my report for today. Let me know if you agree with me. Do you think Litecoin's going to go to 1,000 above like some people? Or do you think it'll stall around the $200 area like me? Or do you think it'll go up to 300 before the halving, assuming that we hold Bitcoin constant? All right, that is the news for today. Check out my social media, and also check out my Patreon and DLive. It's all in the description. Thank you, and have a nice day.